Okay, so if you're a solo dev, how do you figure out what you should be working on and how do you plan that work so that you're actually getting stuff done that moves the needle? Well, we've got a lot of build to do today. I'm gonna walk you through my process, so let's go to the office. This is kind of what's been going on this morning. We've got this analytics service, and essentially what we're doing is we're first doing a quick query just to get some data on the last 30 days of subscriptions, customer subscriptions, transactions, all of the above. Then as we go down, we're doing a little bit of data and actually sorting things into their respective classes. So for example, all transactions, active subscribers, churning subscribers, but we jump all the way down and we return a beautiful DTO that looks just like this. An analytics overview DTO, which you can see we've got active subscribers, we've got our monthly recurring revenue, we've got churning subscribers, we've got transactions, and then we've also got total subscriptions as just a fast number, so we don't need to do any calculation on the front end. That was really the main priority this morning, and now that I've got that out the way, I'm actually just pushing it right now to prod. So anyone who's currently on the app and has subscriptions, you'll be able to see that brand new dashboard, which is really cool. We're moving fast around here. The next priority, I feel, is going to be these multiple tiers of subscriptions. And the way that I've currently been doing it is when you first come into the app and you claim a username, the first thing it prompts you to do is choose a price. So you've got 6 currencies you can choose from: USD, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, etc. You're going to choose your price, and instantly that's going to create a subscription object with Stripe, and then save that in the database underneath your user, which is also connected to your sub. At this stage, we only support having 1 sub per user, and we also currently only support having 1 subscription per user. But that is about to change. And where I think I see a lot of value, especially for like the multiple subscription side of things, is being able to not only create and edit multiple subscriptions, but you can offer different perks. And that is also going to include a free trial. This is something that I don't personally offer myself in my Discord, but I've heard that from other people, this is something they definitely would want, especially when onboarding to this platform. So free trial is the first one. That'll just be a checkbox essentially that someone can check if they want that to occur, and all it takes is literally an extra parameter inside the Stripe call to make that work. So that's cool. The next thing will be not forcing the first index subscription record for that user to be the only price for that page. Here's what I mean by that. Pretty much right now, there is no way to add a second subscription, because what I do is I simply just use the first index when someone's editing their page. Essentially what that means is even if somehow you were able to create a second subscription in your account under sub, we still would only return you from the backend the first index, which in this case would be the first price subscription that you create. So we need to change that. But obviously when you've got multiple subscriptions and multiple prices, and they might even be different currencies, how do we handle all of that, especially in a front-end scenario? So there's a few things which you need to consider right now. So let's plan it out. The first thing is going to be obviously the subscribe button right here. And as you can see, cool, this is really nice and tidy. We've got one single subscribe button, and when you click it, it's going to ask you to complete the checkout with Apple Pay or Google Pay, whatever. But what do we do if we have multiple subscriptions? Firstly, just from a UI point of view, how do we even display this? Do we have a little button here that shows that maybe there's going to be multiple subscriptions or multiple options? Do we just blatantly stack them? Like, as you can see, We haven't even dug remotely into the details of what this would include, but you've got to like think about all this straight away because otherwise it's just going to get chaos. So that's the first thing. The first thing is figure out the UX of what this is going to look like on that page. The second thing is going to be which subscription do we prioritize as the first one we want to show someone. Now, especially in that case, if we're showing multiple subscriptions, but there's a little button next to the main purchase button, how do we know which one is the main subscription? Do we just show the free trial? Maybe the creator wants to prioritize another one. Do we give the creator an opportunity to select their priority subscription? Or do we just show a way that they can see all the subscriptions in one place? I don't know, that's something probably I need to figure out. But without even thinking about the UX side of things, we probably can make some assumptions for how the backend is going to work. From the dashboard underneath the pricing tab, we are going to add an option which will essentially just be add a price. Now, what does this look like from a backend point of view? Well, get our nice little thin pen out. This is going to be a post endpoint for creating a new subscription. This is going to go up to our backend with the JWT of the authenticated user. It's going to talk to Stripe. It's going to create the subscription based on the currency and the price that the user provides. It's going to return us a record, which we will then save in the database underneath the subscriptions, and then we will return that to the front-end application alongside their other subscriptions. And now, at this point, after they've done this once more, they should now have 2 total subscriptions. So we'll need a way to handle that on the front end, but we can worry about that later. Now, another question that we should ask right now is, do we want to allow duplicates? Like, for example, if someone creates an $8.99 subscription USD, do we want them to be able to create another one? I don't know. It kind of doesn't really make a lot of sense in my opinion that they should be able to create the exact same one again. Why would they want that? It's probably just extra clutter and confusion for the user. So, 2 things. On the front end, we'll probably block that if we can figure out they already have one. But also, we want to protect inside the back end as well. So, the back end, we will also want to do that protection. If we can do it on both the front and back, that's great. Mainly the back's what matters, but we'll do the front end as well just for an improved user experience. Another thing we're going to want to consider as well, which is actually one that probably not a lot of people think about, is what happens if a creator wants to delete or remove a subscription, but there's active people who are subscribed and have access to their premium Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack. What happens to all those people? Here's how I think this would naturally play out. First of all those people who are still subscribed would remain subscribed. Instead of doing a hard delete in the backend, which is why I don't do hard deletes, we would simply mark the subscription as deleted. So is deleted, or actually deleted at, would now have a new date value. And if it's got a new date value, that means that it is a deleted subscription. So we can still have all those people subscribed, it's just the subscription that they are subscribed to specifically is deleted. And we would have to reflect that in the dashboard for the creator to see. Now, obviously as well, if the subscription is deleted, we do not want to offer that subscription on the front end, so we just got to ensure that no subscriptions for the front end sub interface checkout show that specific subscription price and offering. Okay. That's just the start. Now we need to consider what happens if a creator wants to delete a subscription, but they don't really want to see it anymore. Well, I think honestly we just need to ignore that use case for now, because if there's a case that you've got 20 people that are subscribed to one subscription, you create a new one and then you want to delete this one, we have to keep showing that. We need to show the details, otherwise it's just going to get super confusing, because all these people will be subscribed and you won't understand why, because there's like no numbers. Yeah, anyway, I think the best thing to do in this situation, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, is just to break it down into its simplest form. And I would say that no matter whether a subscription is deleted at or not deleted at, we're going to display that in the front end so the creator can see. It'll just be either grayed out or available to edit as usual. And we also want to see the number of active subscribers underneath that tier as well if it's been deleted. It's still valuable data if we can see that there's 20 people subscribed to the subscription that you deleted. I think, to be honest though, in most cases, you just don't really want to delete subscriptions in the end. So I wonder if there's actually a better way to do this. I mean, maybe it could be a case where instead of the user being able to delete a subscription, if there are currently any active subscribers on a subscription, we don't let them delete it, but they can remove it from their front-end checkout page. I think that makes a lot more sense, because in the case that they deleted it and now it's not available on the front end and then they want to bring it back for some reason, there's not going to be any dramas. And also in the case that they want to delete it, but there's people subscribed, it just won't let them. It'll say, cool, do you actually just want to remove this price from your front-end sub checkout instead and maybe create a new one? Yes, probably in most cases. So I actually think that's a better solution. And just for any of you out there who are trying to do product work and figure out the best way to build stuff, you've just got to kind of go through all the scenarios and figure out what's going to make the most sense for you, your app, and your user. I think that's all it really is. So anyway, that's a lot of planning. It's a lot of good stuff right there. Let me just get all my thoughts out and we can get started on that build. It is currently 11:15. We've already smashed out the analytics. Let me just double check. Is this built correctly? And we're looking good. We are currently in production with, check this out. We are now in production with analytics. Boom. That's sick. Very cool. But anyway, let me just get the rest of these notes down. We'll start the build and we'll kick off around midday. Woo, let's go. Okay, so things just got a little bit more interesting. Okay, but think about it like this. The way that my app currently works, the way that Sub works, is you come in, you claim your page, you add a connection, which in this case, let's just say Discord, and then as soon as you've added that connection, you then choose a premium role or a subset of premium roles. Now these premium roles are automatically assigned to the Discord user when they subscribe to your sub. Now here's where this gets interesting. Let's just say that you have your single price, like this, price. And then you come in, you add Discord as a connection, Discord, and underneath Discord you have premium role 1 and premium role 2. That's really cool. So when the user comes into your landing page, they come in here, landing page, they pay this price, then this price is going to give that user that just paid access to your Discord with these roles. Now that's great, that's really cool, until you start thinking about multiple price tiers. And so all of a sudden, I have a problem on my hands. I need infrastructure that can handle having roles in a different place than right here. And this is what I'm kind of thinking. I really think that the flow fully needs to change. So instead of having your roles right here, you have multiple connections that you can add. And let's just like remove all this for a second. So this is the flow. You'd have Discord here, which is one connection. You might also have Telegram, which is another connection. But that's it. Your connections are just connections. Literally what they're called. Where this gets different is then you'll have price 1, and then you'll have price 2, and these are just different tiers. Like you might have a cheaper price, that's simply just for access to the Discord, and then you have another price that you get Discord plus you get something else inside the Discord, or maybe access to a different thing. So in this case, we would have price 2, and this is instead where we assign the roles. So on price 1, we would have role 1, and then price 2, you would get role 1 and role 2. And this is where we're assigning them instead. Because before, no matter what happened, if you subscribed, you were just given those roles, but that doesn't really make sense anymore. So we actually need to refactor the entire build. I don't think it'll be too crazy, but it is definitely something that I've realized I need to consider right now so that this logic can work. So yes, that's the first thing. The second thing is that currently we force, as I said before, that the first index subscription that a user has created is the one that they use. So now we're opening up so the user can have multiple tiers. In the case that I have my sub, which is just /Jacob, which you can go to right now, sub.me/Jacob, subscribe to the dev club. And what I want to be able to do is add multiple tiers, maybe even a third one. And essentially this one gives you access to the Discord, this one gives you access to the Discord plus like a VIP channel. And then this one right here, you're also going to get, I don't know, maybe there's a special role inside the Discord that you're also going to get access to call with me one-on-one. I don't know, something like that. But this is going to require things to go over this side instead, over here, instead of over here. And connections just remain connections. Also going to mean that in the future, everything just makes way more sense because it means we're not just relying on a single connection. The connection is just touching the platform, that's it. So yes, that's the plan going forward. A little bit of refactor to do, but nothing that's too crazy for us. We have done worse. So anyway, that's the rundown right now, just so you have a sense of time. It is Thursday around 1 p.m. and I have an onboarding meeting with a potential creator, a big creator from Spain. I just really want to give him the best experience. So that's where most of this logic is coming from, having those kind of multiple tiers. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot something as well. Another thing that the pricing needs to support right here is free trials. And free trials, all it's gonna be is essentially a single checkbox on a pricing, and it actually doesn't really change anything. You can actually turn that on and off quite easily because all it is just a single parameter difference when I'm doing the Stripe call for initiating a subscription. So that's not too hard. I need to get all of this done before Tuesday. It's currently Thursday today. I think we can do it. I don't think that's too crazy. This is an example of how to prioritize really well, because a lot of me right now just wants to make the app look beautiful and feel amazing. And speaking of, we are gonna have these beautiful custom themes coming up soon. The current ones are kind of just like, I feel like most people who are joining the app are only really using the first or second theme out of like 12. Let's actually put some beautiful themes in that people can use, but it's not a priority right now. I can do that later. This is a priority. Let's get back to work. Hope you enjoyed that deep dive.